Welcome back. The Fresh Air Fund is a nonprofit organization that has been serving children from New York City since 1877. Its mission is to provide free summer experiences for children from low-income communities. Joining us in studio to share more about their services is CEO of the Fresh Air Fund, Lisa Gitelson. Thank you for joining us, Lisa.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, now, of course, incredible work that you're doing, so we are going to dive deep into it. But start off by telling me a little bit about the Fresh Air Fund and its mission.
Sure, the Fresh Air Fund has been in existence for just short of 150 years. We serve the youth of New York City that wouldn't otherwise have access to the outdoors. We have summertime programs, we have 6 sleepaway summer camps, and additionally we have year-round programming that supports the youth we serve. And all of our programs and services are without fee to the families that we serve.
Wow, and of course, as a program that has been around since 1877, providing these adventures to children, talk to me about the importance and the need for something like this more than ever, you'd say.
Sure. So the Fresh Air Fund deeply believes in the social emotional learning of the youth that we serve. And we believe that this kind of learning can happen best in the outdoors. So we provide outdoor activities that we think the youth that we serve wouldn't necessarily have access to otherwise. So both outdoors away from New York City and outdoors in New York City.
Yeah. Now, when you talk about these programs, like you mentioned, some of the camps even, how do they help bridge this kind of gap socially and economically for families?
Sure. So there's a tremendous amount of literature that shows us that time in the outdoors is time that is good for our independence, for our growth, for new experiences, and for our mental health. And I think for a lot of us that lived through COVID in the city, we know how important it was to have time and access to the outdoors. So the Fresh Air Fund does do that. We give kids the opportunity and time to learn more about themselves, to become more independent, to create new relationships, and to try brand new things that they might not otherwise do.
Yeah, now when you mention even those opportunities, something that I was reading about that stood out to me, especially in our very own borough, there is a Camp Junior, which honors obviously a 15-year-old victim who was a victim of gang violence here. Talk to me about having something like this in our community to support the youth here.
Sure. We're super proud. The Fresh Air Fund is super proud of Camp Junior. Camp Junior is in Harriman State Park, so most people know Bear Mountain. It's right by the Bear Mountain State Park. It's a sleepaway camp specifically that only serves youth from the Bronx. It was founded in honor and in memory of Junior, and all of the youth who come there are from the Bronx. We strive to have all of the staff there to be from the Bronx. The director of that camp is a proud member of the Bronx community, and we create community from the Bronx in upstate-ish New York, and have the opportunity for the youth of the Bronx to experience the outdoors and time away.
Yeah, to have something so special and honor someone obviously from our borough as well, what are some of the things that if parents are watching or even students are like, wow, I would want to be a part of Camp Junior, what can they expect to experience during that time there?
So some of the favorite activities at Camp Junior are swimming. Every kid who comes to camp is going to take a swim test on their first day. And most kids, if they know to swim, will advance in their swimming. If they don't know how to swim, they will swim by the end of their time at Camp Junior. There's boating, there's sports, there's chess, there's arts and crafts, there is all kinds of general, just the kinds of camp activities you expect. There's learning about nature. One of the things that our kids really love that not everybody knows about is a game called Gaga. Gaga is a game that's kind of like volleyball, but in a court and on the ground. And the kids literally, like, I see kids wake up in the morning and go straight to the Gaga pit because they can't wait to start playing.
And about how long does that camp in itself run for families?
So the camp sessions are about 2.5 weeks. If for the counselors, and we still have openings also for counselors, they will work for the whole summer.
Oh my God, that's incredible. Now, something else, another initiative that stood out to me is this enrichment and leadership programs. How are you working with students to provide these programs and opportunities for them?
So we have a few different ways that we do that. One of them is the Fresh Air Fund has counselor and training programs and leadership and training programs. It's very important to the Fresh Air Fund that the youth that come to us as campers become our counselors and our leaders. So in the summer for youth that are 15 and older, they will participate in a leadership program to really get themselves ready to either become leaders at the Fresh Air Fund or somewhere else in their employment world. We also have a lot of college support. We have tutoring and mentoring that happens over the school year as well.
Yeah, now, of course, as a program that has been around since 1877, you were mentioning to me too, you've been a part of the program for the last almost 3 years. To see the impact of these programs on children, how has that felt like for you, or any testimonials or any kind of stories that you have seen through and go through these programs?
Sure. The Fresh Air Fund knows that the work we do has impact. We collect data regularly, both from the youth who come to our programs to the parents whose youth come to our programs. We know that kids leave camp and the experiences of camp feeling more independent, feeling ready to take on new challenges, feeling more ready to make new relationships. And we know those are the things that make communities strong and make each of us strong. So youth leave camping with a better understanding of who they are and all of their capacities. And that's just kind of what everybody wants. We all want to see everything that we can possibly do. And I truly believe the work of the Fresh Air Fund yields that kind of knowledge.
Yeah, now of course we've talked all things camp, but there's also another thing that stood out to me is the sharp reservation. How does that work with students, families? Talk to me a
Sure.
little bit about that.
So Sharp Reservation is in Fishkill, New York. It's a little bit smaller than 2,000 acres. And at the Sharp Reservation, we have 5 additional sleepaway camps. Those camps are open to kids from all of New York City, and also we hire counselors from all of New York City for those camps. So we do prioritize Camp Junior for youth of the Bronx, but anybody can go to any of the other 5 camps that are at the Sharp Reservation.
Yeah. Now we've talked a few about different programs. Any other programs that obviously you are kind of hoping our viewers will know more about, especially during
Sure.
this time?
Right. So I would say specifically Camp Junior has year-round programming that includes a running club, that includes weekends that you go back to camp and have reunions and all different kinds of learning skills. Overall, we also have our College Connections program, which helps youth get ready for college. And we do have the mentoring and tutoring as well that youth from any borough can participate in year-round.
Yeah. Now, of course, there is this side of promoting something for the youth for them to sign up. If there are maybe teenagers or adults who want to be part of these mentorship programs, or even maybe counselors as well, is that something that is open to them?
Absolutely. We have openings all the time for volunteers who want to be part of the work. And right now we have openings for counselors for all 6 of our sleepaway camps. And I encourage anyone who's interested to go to the website where you can find all of these opportunities.
Yeah, now of course for families who may be watching and are kind of leaning to like, yes, I want to sign up. What else would you tell them about what their kids might get out of this program?
Sure. I would also just say that I know for a lot of our families and our youth, the idea of sleepaway camp is not something maybe that they've considered before and might seem overwhelming or a little bit scary to trust us with your youth. I would encourage any family who's interested, any youth who's interested. We have a lot of open houses where people can hear more and they can learn more and talk to families who've already done the programs so they can learn about it. Our website also contains a tremendous amount of information, but I really can assure people that first, of course, our goal of the summer is safety. The second goal is joy. And we really create joy. And while we talk a lot about learning and what kids will get from the summer, it's all wrapped up in joy and fun. So it's different than being in school, but it's about learning who you are in a joyful, fun way throughout the summer.
Yeah, and I asked that too because I have a younger brother, and we both grew up born and raised in the Bronx, and camp was not a thing that I ever did. And the minute that he got a camp opportunity, my parents were very like cautious, sending him away. Just something we didn't get to do all the time, or in my case ever. But when he came back, I saw a change, and I saw how that program kind of helped them. For students maybe who are thinking of signing up, these kids as well, what would you tell them about what the experience might bring them, and kind of maybe even open them up a little bit more to something different?
Sure. I would say one of the things that I always love is when kids leave for camp, it all takes place in one location and they get onto the bus. And I often see kids and they're, nervous. And one of the things I know I've said with the youth is like, see this big group of kids around you, when you come back at the end of the summer, these are going to be your friends. These are going to be part of your community. And you're going to be able to take the train to visit them. And New York City is going to feel more of your home because you're going to know more kids from all over the city. And you're just going to have fun and find all about who you are.
Yeah. Now, of course, as the world changes, even climate in itself, how is the Fresh Air Fund even adapting to maybe some new obstacles, challenges that might come up?
So certainly, we have been thinking a lot about climate change. The summers are hotter than they used to be. About we have more space that's outdoors, how we have more space that's indoors, that's with air conditioning, and we are taking steps to make sure that as the world evolves in that manner, we keeping up with it.
Yeah. Now, of course, I mentioned earlier to Lisa, you have joined now Fresh Air Fund for almost 3 years as well. What has that time been like for you in this program and to see it kind of continue to grow and be of interest to the community?
That's a great question. So, my whole career has been in child welfare and youth development. Without question, being able to have the impact at the Fresh Air Fund has been the best experience for me professionally. The staff who work at the Fresh Air Fund are like staff nowhere else. Everybody comes into the office and during the summer months to do this work. Everybody believes in it. Everybody wants to make it the best it can. Everybody believes deeply in the community we serve. And one of the things I say every day when I come to work myself is, what am I doing today that's going to serve our community? And that's what I ask of our staff every day too. And they ask it of themselves. What are we doing today that best serves our community? So that's what the Fresh Air Fund is about.
Yeah, I love that, and I think it obviously speaks to what you're doing and the legacy that continues to be created by the Fresh Air Fund. Obviously, we shared so many resources, so many information about the organization. For our viewers watching, what is one thing you might want them to definitely stick with them after watching, more and hearing more about the program?
Sure. So time is a little bit of the essence. I encourage people to learn about the programs if they have more questions by going to our website or by attending one of our informational sessions, and also by going to the website to put in the application. We will not be able to serve every single youth in the Bronx, and we want to serve as many youth as we can. So applying now is the best way to make sure we'll be able to serve your youth. And the Fresh Air Fund has a team ready to support the application process. So if people go to the website, they will find that they'll be connected to our staff who will help them complete the application.
That is incredible. Well, again, thank you, Lisa, so much for just sharing a wealth of information for us to obviously hear and for our viewers to hopefully take advantage of as well. So thank you again.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Now, if you are interested in learning more about these free summer experiences, please visit their website at freshair.org. We have to take a quick break. We'll be back with more Open after this.